Alright, so we're doing townhome advice, I guess. So townhomes. Alright, let me tell you about townhomes. First and foremost, don't ever move into a townhome. Rent them out at the very most. Don't ever buy one, ever. If you're gonna buy something similar to a townhome, just get a condo. What the hell are you doing getting a townhome? What advice did you get that someone told you that a townhome was a good idea? Don't do it. Anyway, here's why townhomes are terrible. So there's gonna be two parts to this. First, let me start off by talking about the townhomes themselves. Most townhomes are garbage. They're shoddily put together rickety pieces of crap that you are spending all of your money on, your hard-earned dollars on. Don't get townhomes. Do not get one. What happens when townhomes are built is that you have some young freaking yuppie, little rich yuppie that wants to make a quick buck and puts together some piece of crap little townhome complex and sells them for a little bit less. $50, $60, $75, $100,000 less than what you could actually buy a real home for. So that's the problem with townhomes themselves. Now on to part two of this. The main problem with townhomes and townhome complexes are the people that are in them. The people that live in townhomes, the people that you're going to be surrounded by in these little freaking piece of shit gated little townhome homeowners association communities. So the issue is that most of the time when you have a fully grown adult who's living in a townhome, that person is there because they are 9 times out of 10 way too much of a maladjusted adult to have their life put together enough to buy a real home. So they're stuck with this half of a functioning brain and this, like I said, these maladjusted adults, they fill up these complexes with half a functioning brain, with the emotional intelligence of an 18-year-old trying to find a prom date, and they just make everyone else's life around them a living hell. On top of this, these people, these maladjusted, emotionally unstable adults that are always fighting with each other, on top of that, you have homeowners associations. So you know how people say, and let me tell you about homeowners associations while we're on the subject, and I'm pretty much done with the video. Homeowners associations are made up of people who were bullied their entire life. They work a piece of shit, dead-end HR job. No one at work respects them. Their spouse doesn't respect them. Their kids don't respect them. So you have a person who has this opportunity to have this pseudo seat of power, this fake seat of power, and all they're ever going to do is abuse that power because they've always been bullied their entire life, so they're going to turn around and bully the world because they have the power. They're one of the heads of a homeowners association. They're somebody, finally. Their parents told them they'd never be anyone. They'd never amount to anything. If only their parents could see them now. They're at the head of a homeowners association. So yeah, to recap, don't ever buy a townhome. Buy a condo if you want something similar to a townhome. What you should do, if you're saving up money for a townhome, don't get a townhome. Save up $50,000 to $100,000 extra, or just take that out in a mortgage or a loan and get a freaking house, a real house, not a freaking cheap piece of shit imitation of a house. Don't do that to yourself. You're better than that. That's my townhome advice. If the only time you should live in a townhome is if you are temporarily renting one out and you're going to be living there for no longer than 12 months, maybe 15 months at the most. Don't get a townhome. I should also mention that this is for America, United States of America advice. I don't know. Maybe townhomes are amazing ways to live in Europe, New Zealand, Australia. I don't know. I can only tell you what I know, which is for America. United States of America. Don't get a freaking townhome. Don't do that to yourself.